attempt an armbar or a triangle.
Difficult too with him jammed up against the cage like he is. Look at that left forearms coming down again on Berger. That's the thing, it's good guys with experience like Brennan, they just got all these weapons, they know when to use them, just take full advantage of every position they end up in. Berger trying to do some punches, but he's too short to do any real damage.
So far, no armbar attempts by Steve Berger.
Brennan now in the full guard of Steve Berger. He's trying to get away from having his back up against that cage. But Brennan, of course, knowing he wants to keep him there. Whoop.
He's going for it.
Get a position now.
He's going for an armbar. Steve Berger's going for it.
Brennan realizes he's got to get out of there. He's got to get that arm out. There you go. Once again, those right hands wailing in. Look at that big right hand from Chris Brennan on the chin of Steve Berger.
Excellent armbar defense by Chris Brennan.
The referee warning him about inactivity, which incidentally we should mention that earlier match we're talking about with Mitsoka. That's why the referee did stand him up, because he warned him about inactivity and stood them back on their feet. Just wanted to mention that from that previous fight.
Here we go, Larry standing him up.
There you go. And this again is a thing we're talking about, the idea of standing him up just to keep it interesting, to keep it entertaining. You know, is it completely no holds barred? Not in the true sense of the word, but as far as entertainment, seeing the full skills of stand-up as well as grappling, that's the reason for standing them up after a certain amount of inactivity.
Chris Brennan continuing to pour it on. Landed a solid knee to the midsection of Steve Berger.
Oh, he wore a couple then of left hands from Steve Berger. Chris Brennan wanting to load up that right hand again. Berger not able to get any leverage, not any power from that right hand when he's on his back the way he is. He's got to get back up. Brennan going to work that right hand again.
Brennan continuing to pound. He wants to pass, but it's with Steve Berger. Steve Berger's got enough jiu-jitsu to make it pretty difficult. It's making it really hard to pass and maintain control in the side mount. So far, it's all Steve Berger defending.
Berger trying to use his foot on the hip to keep Brennan away from him, but not having much success at the moment. There's that right hand again, and Brennan's wailing down on Berger.
Steve Berger, another armbar attempt here. He's going for it. When you see Steve Berger, he's going for it, but Chris Brennan's defense is just too much.
Berger's just wearing too many punches. As again, that warning inactivity, he's going to stand up. And whoa, that cut's really opening up.
Blood pouring out of the cut.
Of course, the people should know that the sweat and everything else is what makes it often look a lot worse than it is with cuts. You know, you get a bit of moisture and blood, and the referee, I'm sure, is keeping a good eye on that and would be readily able to stop this fight if it got too bad.
It's all Chris Brennan.
Berger would have to come out with a submission in a real hurry to win this fight.
Well, we got one more round. This is for the KOTC middleweight championship. Going for another armbar, Steve Berger. He's got heart. He's going for it.
Cup that right hand again.
10 seconds to go. Steve Berger lands a short left from the bottom. That's the end of round 2. Another one in the books for Chris Brennan. Like you said, Richard, the only way Steve Berger is going to win this fight now is by a knockout or submission.
He's got to do it. It's the only way, and I'm not so sure I can see that happening, but of course it can. But Brennan seems pretty much in control. He knows exactly what he needs to do. You know, Berger's doing a good job in keeping Brennan in the half guard, but the problem is that Brennan's doing so much damage, especially with those big right-hand punches whilst in the half guard.
It's 2-0, Chris Brennan. 1 round to go, and either of those rounds could have easily been 10-8 rounds, you know?
As you say, Berger was making some attempts for the armbar, but Brennan's he's got a lot of experience, you know. It's a bit hard to pull that off. And again, hard to pull it off when you're worrying about being punched in the head while you're doing it. And Brennan knows enough to keep the other guy busy.
A lot of blood coming out of the face of Steve Berger.
They're not too worried about it, though. You know, you notice, as I said, the referee's so experienced, and he's keeping an eye on that. That's obviously why they're not that concerned about it. Like I said, the sweat makes it often look a lot worse than it is. The cuts you worry about are on top of the eye, you know, above, just along the eyebrow there. As you can see, it's not even bleeding at this stage. Nice and bruised up, though.
Round 3, the third and final round for the KOTC middleweight belt. Back to the mat.
Back to the mat, not where Berger needs to be. Brennan just keeping his hands up, protecting himself from those punches from Berger, because again, not a lot of power from Berger. Knows he cannot be here. This is where he's going to lose his match for sure. But Brennan, too experienced, just knows how to keep him down, using his forearms on his chin.
Brennan doing a good job at pounding and defending against submissions. Just does not seem like Steve Berger has what it takes to finish Chris Brennan off.
Not while he's in that position, that's for sure. I mean, he's doing his best, but again, you just can't get the leverage, because, you know, obviously when you're on your back, you can't pull that punch back to get any real range, you know, because of the mat, obviously. Whereas Brennan, from up there, he can bring them from left field and get some power into them. Brennan obviously knows that the more he keeps Berger up against that cage, the less Berger is able to do. There's a right hand again. Oh, another armbar attempt. Oh,
big shots, Chris Brennan.
That's the trouble every time Berger goes for the armbar, he cups a right hand. Look at that, right hands again.
Yeah, he's getting belted. But he's showing a lot of heart here.
Oh, absolutely.
He doesn't look rocked at all.
No,
Although there's blood everywhere, he's still going for it. And he doesn't look stunned at all. He has a good chin.
No, you can't take the warrior spirit away from Berger. I mean, just to be in there and stay in there and to keep fighting, to keep punching, it says it all.
Berger firing back. Big bombs by Chris Brennan.
Oh, right hands again. Berger attempting an armbar again, but just he doesn't have the juice left to pull it off.
Chris Brennan content, pounding. Oh, Larry Landis standing it up.
Standing him up. Again, it's all about inactivity on the ground. Referee Landis, he's a believer in that. He's going to stand him up to keep the interest going and to keep the activity going.
Larry Landis calling time.
I think he's calling for the doctor to have a look at the cut on Berger's eye.
Here comes the doctor. I think they're going to let this fight go.
I think they will. I don't think it's bad enough.
Aren't in bad spots. One on the bridge of the nose, one under the left eye.
I think he's fine, though. They should let it go. I mean, that's not a bad enough cut to worry about. I'm sure they'll let it continue, especially at this stage of the match.
Steve Berger showing tremendous heart. Yeah. Doesn't really look fatigued.
No, again, great heart. All these guys have got great heart. As I said before, even to get up in the ring in the first place, let alone to last this long.
Here we go. Larry Landis restarting it. Final round. Not much time left.
Oh, just a left jab right into the chin of Berger then.
Steve Berger's got a guillotine choke in tight.
Nice and tight.
He's got it nice and tight.
Look at this.
Chris Brennan's in trouble. Chris Brennan's in trouble.
Brennan's got to get out of there. I think he is going to get out of there.
He's out.
He looked like his eyes were popping out for one moment.
Yeah, he's out. He's out. Close.
Doesn't it show you, though? I mean, the whole tide could have turned. What we said, that submission could have come out of nowhere there for Berger. But again, Brennan managed to escape. And you're going to see those right hands coming down again. Look at that, Berger desperately hanging on, trying to nullify that right hand of Brennan, but Don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, Chris Brennan.
Too little at the end of the match. It's not going to be enough.
Chris Brennan pouring it on here, showing why he was the king of the cage champion.
Choke right here. Brennan.
He's got it in pretty tight himself. Oh, he let it go.
All Brennan's got to do is hang on now anyway, and of course not get submitted. I think he knows that.
Looks like Chris Brennan's going to regain the title. 1 minute to go.
Oh, he's going for his own guillotine choke. You see that?
Oh, he sits back in the guard. He's got him.
He's got him. Look at this.
It's in deep. It's in deep.
Look at this.
Can he pull it off?
To take the pressure off.
Chris Brennan all over him. Oh, it looks like Steve Berger's getting out.
Oh, look at that. What spirit. What spirit Berger is showing.
Oh, he made it.
There. What an effort. That's a wonderful effort from Steve Berger to get out of that. That looked like it was all over.
Heart of a lion, Steve Berger. Not much time left, less than 20 seconds.
Impressive.
Chris Brennan in the mount.
Fortunately, it's over though for Berger, but boy, what spirit. Look at that.
Looks like Chris Brennan's gonna regain the title. Big bomb.
Right hands again from
It's all Chris Brennan. It's over. Chris Brennan.
Done it.
Although it's not official yet,
well,
I guarantee it.
Yeah. We don't want to preempt the judges, but
yeah, they couldn't even give this to Steve Berger in Vegas. They couldn't even do it there. There'd be a mass riot.
Steve Berger showing a lot of heart though and a lot of spirit. You know, again, these guys are warriors. You know, the way they get in there and the punishment they take sometimes in these matches.
Both fighters in excellent condition.
Absolutely.
Steve Berger took a beating. Here we go with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision. The new King of the Cage middleweight champion of the world, Chris Brennan.
It was 100% Chris Brennan. He is the new KOTC middleweight champion. There we go with he had a nice guillotine sunk in deep.
Berger doing his best to try and take the pressure off that. I'm amazed he got out of it the way he did.
That looked deep.
We got more.
There, Steve Berger about to slip his head out. Barely made it.
Look at that. That's spirit right there.
Okay, Rafael here with Chris Brennan. Big win over Steve Berger for the middleweight title. I heard you were up in Big Bear recently training for that fight.
Yeah, I trained up for 10 days, 11 days. Tried to get ready. Actually had to leave 2 days in, race home. My wife had a baby. Turn around, race back up. Hell of a tough guy.
Definitely a good fight for you, though. I mean, good week.
I didn't think I'd dominate as well as I did. Thought I'd have a little more problem with him. He was very tough, strong, but couldn't touch me.
Well, dominate you did. You did in the stand-up, you did in the wrestling, and you did in the submissions. You actually went for a far armbar attempt. You almost caught it. What happened?
As I circled for, he was turning into me already. I didn't want to get ahead of myself and end up on bottom. My main thing was control the whole fight. Positions, they said actually they weren't going to stand us up on the ground if it was, you know, more of a holding and beating up game, but they stood us up a couple times, but I was able to pass his guard, get to the side, mounted him once on, actually from the guillotine. I sat to guard, then he tried to sit out of it and ended up mounting him, but yeah, you know, it was tough to submit, I guess, and it was tough to land elbows on. He protected real well, he's strong, but I landed some, obviously, because he was bleeding pretty good after the first and second round.
Well, middleweight champion before, and now middleweight champion again. Congratulations, man. Welcome back.
I'd like to call Gil Castillo a chicken shit for carving his name in the back of this and running off to the UFC. You know, he, last time he was here, said it was amateur night when I was fighting. And so does Steve, actually, but he was pretty nice tonight, but it wasn't amateur night tonight.